everyone. Welcome to WSAZ Plus on this Monday evening. It is Monday, March 16th, 9 o'clock. So it's time for us to go over some of those headlines that we're going to be following. First things first, though, I hope all of you had a wonderful weekend. Appreciate you joining us as we take a look at some of those headlines. And I'd like to start by saying thank you to everyone that joined us at the WSAZ Home and Garden Show. It was a really nice weekend. I was there on Saturday and got to meet a lot of our viewers and see a lot of you again. It's nice to see so many familiar faces over the years. We had lots of great vendors that joined us, and a big thank you to the more than 100 different businesses that decided to set up shop with us at the WSAZ Home and Garden Show. Let's take a look at some video here as we talk about the weekend. I hope, if anything, that you were at least able to come to the WSAZ Home and Garden Show and get a little bit of inspiration for some of those home projects that you'd like to tackle this spring. Maybe you were able to hire a couple different businesses to come and take care of things around the house. Maybe you've had some big projects that you've just been putting off for a little bit, and now was the time that you said, okay, we need to go ahead and take care of it. I hope that all of you really had a wonderful time visiting with us. I know we did. We were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was a really great turnout, wonderful event as always. So a big thank you to all of our viewers that stopped by the WSAZ booth to say hello. We always appreciate that. It's so nice to see all of your smiling faces. That's really what makes this event so special. We look forward to it each and every year, and I don't know that the weather really provided us with a lot of inspiration to get those home projects done today. You want to talk about a big change within 24 hours. We went from full-on spring right back to winter. It made its return today. As we look at this video that was taken in Ritter Park today, we quickly went from the 70s to the 30s. You talk about the bottom just dropping out right underneath us. But I'm hoping that maybe this could be winter's last hurrah for us. I guess only time will tell. March and April tend to be a little bit unpredictable for us. I know spring technically starts on Friday, but it can be a real back and forth kind of yo-yo time when it comes to March and April. But it is a first alert weather day for us as we quickly dropped in the temperatures. All those beautiful flowers that are blooming, thinking, yeah, it's spring, now are covered up in snow, and travel has not been the best today. Although it was beautiful to see the snow, it just kind of reminds you more of December, not so much here, almost the start of spring. But travel still could be very slick for us in the morning time. So we're going to have our meteorologist on at 10 and 11 with an update on our forecast. And they say hang in tight, because if you want that warm spring weather back, it sounds like just in time for the weekend and the start of spring, the official start of spring, that things really improve for us. So if you were really enjoying those 80s and 70s, pulling out the shorts and the t-shirts, don't worry, this weekend things improve for us. So Saturday and Sunday look great. Great time for us to be outside. All right, on that note, we've got a couple of headlines that we want to tackle here for you on this Monday evening, several of them that we've been following through the day, and we have updates on a couple. But we're going to start with a brand new story for us tonight that we'll have for you at 10 and 11. Right now, we have the latest on this one on WSAZ.com, but let me pull up some information here on the screen as we talk about this one, because it was just this evening we received information from Ashland Police on this story. A woman's death tonight under investigation in Ashland, and police say the circumstances surrounding her death are suspicious. Police say a woman's body was discovered this morning in the 3400 block of Front Street. And we learned from the Boyd County Coroner's Office, the department assisted in this investigation. They have now identified that woman as Tammy Morin. She was from Ashland. Police saying the evidence they found at the scene points to this being suspicious and that foul play may be involved in her death. Police say at this time it appears to be an isolated incident. They're saying the public does not need to be in fear, that the public is not in danger, they believe, from the evidence they've been able to gather. But the coroner's office says that her body will be sent tomorrow to Frankfort to the state medical examiner's office to perform an autopsy. And they're hoping that they'll be able to get a cause of death and give them a little more information as to what happened to this woman, and an official cause of death. So if we get word from the Boyd County Coroner's Office as far as that official cause of death, we'll let you know. But Ashland police saying the circumstances surrounding her death are suspicious, that evidence they recovered from the scene points to foul play being involved. So we'll have that story for you tonight at 10 and 11. Next tonight, an update on a fire that we first told you about over the weekend, and several teenagers injured in this fire. We spoke today with people that are heavily involved in athletics at Spring Valley, because the first baseball game for the team is this coming Thursday. But the main concern right now, they're saying, is not about what happens on the diamond. It's not about the outcome of that game. Head coach Austin Pratt telling us that instead it is on several members of the team. He said it was Sunday that he learned 4 of the Timberwolves players were in this building that caught fire. And we spoke today with David Hutchinson. He co-owns Geno's in Canova with his wife, Tiffany. They told our reporter, Andrew Colgrove, that they kind of shared some more details of what happened today. Very emotional still, did not want to go on camera, but shared some information with us off camera. They live in the home next door to this place. And he says the second story of the restaurant has vacant apartments and a game room, and that his 15-year-old son was there along with 3 of his friends, that he had invited them over to spend the night. And they're all members of Spring Valley's baseball team. Hutchinson tells us that an alarm went off in the restaurant very early that morning. It was just before 6:20 in the morning on Sunday, and a fire had broken out in the back of the second story of the building. He says that he and his wife quickly left their home next door and went into that building to try and get their son and his friends out. They said the smoke was so thick they actually had to crawl on the floor of the place in order to be able to get to them. He says that after everyone was out, that he and his wife and all 4 of those teens went to the hospital. 2 of his son's friends still in the hospital as of this evening. We have not received an update on how they are doing. Once we get that, we will, of course, let you know, because so many of you have asked about how these teenagers are doing. Very, very worried and concerned about them. He did say there's no word yet on how this fire started, and that the restaurant suffered some pretty extensive water damage. But he said right now it's not so much focusing on this building and the fire and the restaurant, that their thoughts are with the teens who were hurt, and that they are praying for a full recovery. And those sentiments were echoed by the coach of the team when we spoke with him today. So, so many of you have been paying attention to this story, sending your thoughts and your prayers to these teenagers who were hurt. And once we get an update on how they're doing, we will absolutely share that with you on WSAZ and here on WSAZ.com and WSAZ Plus. Next tonight, an update on a shots fired incident that we first told you about over the weekend in Charleston. Getting a couple of new updates here from the Charleston Police Department today. One person sent to the hospital after this happened and is recovering after gunfire broke out in downtown Charleston over the weekend. Charleston police saying that a group of people tried to force their way into a bar in downtown Charleston. That, according to police, led to a fight breaking out outside of the bar just after 1 o'clock on Sunday. Officers say that someone then fired what they're calling 2 warning shots into the ground, but they said the bullets ricocheted off the concrete, hitting 2 people. One of them sent on to the hospital. Police say they're expecting that person will be okay, and the other refused treatment there at the scene. Police say that the person who fired the shots actually stayed on scene and cooperated with detectives. Were able to give them information about what happened, and police are saying that person is claiming self-defense, So far, no charges being filed in this case, according to police, but officers did tell us that this is all still under investigation here on this Monday evening. Next tonight, some welcome news for people that live in Charleston, a staple in the city that's been closed for a couple of years now. We're getting word that it is reopening. And so many of you, when I say the name of this place, you'll have so many fond memories of it. It's been there for years and years in Charleston. And we're talking about Park Place Cinema. So news that the cinema is going to be reopening 2 years after the doors closed to the movie theater in downtown Charleston. Park Place is set to reopen. The theater closed in May of 2024 after more than 4 decades in operation in the city. They were citing at the time decline in business and cost of upgrades to that facility. But now new ownership has stepped in and has shown interest in doing some upgrades to the place and are right now looking to an April 1st reopening for the place. Now, the city had a meeting tonight to vote to execute a lease agreement with the company, which would allow the owners to move forward with reopening that theater. So we're going to have the very latest from that meeting, the Charleston Finance Committee talking about this one tonight. We'll have the latest for you at 10 and 11. But April 1st is when they're expecting the doors will open back up. So for people living in the area that used to frequent Park Place, just in time for some new releases to hit theaters in April. The doors will be reopening so you and your family can have a nice little outing and go and watch some movies again at Park Place Cinema in downtown Charleston. Also tonight on while we're kind of staying here in Charleston, getting news that the city council has voted to approve the budget. It's more than $113 million, and we just got that in here in the last little bit. Don't have video from the meeting that I can show you, but I can share with you some information that we've learned. Approving that for the 2027 fiscal year. And included in that $113 million, lots of funding for the city's police department and fire department. Also, they're saying investing in city employees. Lots of money going to go toward, let's see here, minimum hourly wage. And then also millions of dollars going to infrastructure improvements through the city. So we're going to break down a lot of those main points of the budget, some of the highlights coming up for you at 10 and 11. Also, another big story that I know that we will have, and this one is out of Putnam County. We went to the Putnam County School Board meeting tonight where they were discussing the build of the brand new Hurricane Middle School and how things are going with the progress on getting that project off the ground. Still, I know they were saying that it was looking like maybe 2028 that they would like to have this school open. So here we are at the start of 2026. That would give them about 2+ years to be able to build. But I can share with you tonight, the school board provided us with some documents with some information about where the project stands at the moment with the architecture firm that they have hired to work with this build, and updated us tonight that finally they have that traffic study complete. They've sent it on to the West Virginia Division of Highways for a review, and that study is looking at things like the flow of traffic in through Tays Valley where this is going to be built, because that's going to increase the flow of traffic through the area. And also the entrance and the exit of the school, how that's going to work with traffic, parking designs, parking spaces, things like that. So that's been sent off now to the West Virginia Division of Highways for approval. And they were still saying that they were trying to narrow down some of the parking designs. So that's where that stands right now. And then they're also finalizing still some of the, I guess we'll say, the lay of the land, how the classrooms are going to be situated, what the school is going to look like, some of the needs that they feel need to be met when it comes to student population, accommodating all the students and the staff. So that right now is also being finalized. So it's kind of where things stand right now. It's still not shovels in the ground. They're not going to start the building process on this tomorrow. It's a lot of finalization that they have to go through with still the design process. So that's the update that we received tonight on the building of the brand new Hurricane Middle School in Putnam County. And those are just a couple of the other big stories that we will have for you at 10 and 11. We've got really a full slate of a lot of local stories that we are covering for you. So it's going to be a busy night for us at 10 and 11. As always, I hope that you will tune in with us because we'll get you those news and weather updates. And then Keith is going to join us with sports updates because here we are. It's almost March Madness time. So I'm sure a lot of you are probably getting those brackets ready for play. And we've got state tournament happening for basketball. So our crew is going to be busy with that. We're going to have full coverage here for you on WSAZ Sports Plus. Our team is going to be in Charleston tomorrow talking with players and coaches as that play gets underway. So we're going to have all that for you at 10 and 11. I hope that you will all tune in with us and watch. Remember, you can always watch with us on WSAZ.com if you can't sit down in front of the television with us. And always here at 9 p.m. each night, full updates on those big stories that we're covering for you in the headlines. Hope all of you have a wonderful night ahead and a great Tuesday. Take it slow with the travel in the morning because with the wet road conditions that we saw today and the temperature still staying at freezing overnight, slick travel is still very much going to be a concern for us in the morning. So allow yourself a little extra time, set the alarms a little bit earlier, and just stay safe on your travels to work and taking the kids to school. Thanks so much for tuning in, everyone, and starting your week off with me here on WSAZ Plus. I'm Taylor Eaton. Glad to have you here. I'll see you tonight at 10 and 11.